has $1 bill, 1 quarter, and 2 pennies. How much money does he have? Jaden broke.
Jalen is broke, okay? Oh my goodness, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have another installment of Ask Miss Cotton. What did you guys think about that clip? Hopefully it made you smile. Hopefully it made you laugh. Yeah, so let's just get into it. Okay, so obviously this clip went viral, and it is of a little boy who is completing a math problem. And he answers the question with a joke. And very simply put, what do you get when you have a penny, a dollar, and a nickel? How much money does Jalen have? Jalen is broke. I think this is classic. I would have loved to have a young man so vivacious in my classroom. And I can tell you one thing, that type of student would thrive in my classroom. And I know that this was obviously a homeschool setting, but the reality is many of you have children that are just like the little boy in the video, and they have school experiences where that exact situation will have happened, has already happened, is about to happen. So let's talk about it. If you're a parent and you're watching this, or if you're a teacher or watching this, this may hit a home for you. You may be able to connect with what I'm about to say. And I just want you to be honest about a few things as you're listening to this video. So give me a chance, right? Okay. Now, I thought it was funny. It was funny. But there are a lot of people that are watching this video that haven't considered the following. Your child would have gotten sent to the office for something like that. You may be a teacher that would have sent out a student that made that type of joke in your classroom. And the reality of the situation is that's that implicit bias, that's that a little bit of, racism that creeps into our classroom, and that we really don't know how to handle children that don't look like us. We don't know how to handle those situations. And when I say we, I'm speaking of the education community as a whole, right? Because the majority of teachers do not look like the students they're teaching. So what happens is they get a little boy, like the little boy you see in the video, and, he's just being himself. And because what he's being asked to do is redundant and low level, he's going to make the activity more complex and certainly more engaging by putting humor into it, infusing humor in it, and making a joke. And here's what I mean by making that activity more complex. He really didn't answer the question incorrectly. It's just a poorly worded question, to be honest. You have a dollar, you have a nickel, and you have a penny. How much money does Jalen have? Jalen is broke. Two things can be true. He could have also given the dollar amount true, but also that's not a lot of money. So instead of looking at it in this deficit model, or instead of looking at it like this boy is acting out or he's not answering the question, let's just think about what we're asking our children to do, little black children, particularly black boys. Let's really look at what we're asking them to do. Are we challenging them? Because he's clearly completing some sort of skill sheet. And the purpose of a skill sheet in the classroom is a couple of different reasons why you would give a skill sheet. Ideally, you're giving out a skill sheet to give a child a time to independently practice something that's already been taught. But are we using skill sheets appropriately? Are we using them too much? Could this child be basically saying, this is boring, right? I know how to count money. I would rather show you that I understand, demonstrate my mastery using a more complex task. So I could, point to the money pictures, add up the pictures, and then write the dollar sign. That's a very Eurocentric way to learn, where someone is disseminating information and the children are parroting it back, and then completing some work so that you have an artifact of learning saying that I understood it. But it might be more beneficial to challenge this little black boy by having him count real money or play money with realia, or by having him do different activities that require him to add it up, like, go and look at your local newspaper and cut out coupons until you've spent $1.35. Just something else that's more engaging for this student, for him to be able to demonstrate what that dollar amount is. Because when you disengage a student, you know, they're going to dig deep into their recesses and they're going to come out with something like what you just saw. Jaden is broke. That's the answer to this question, because you keep asking me dumb questions. I know how to add. This is boring to me. Now, there is a small chance that he doesn't understand it and he's using humor to deflect. Again, as a teacher, this is why we are superheroes, because we do need to determine on the spot, is this child deflecting because this is not the appropriate activity for this child, or is this child deflecting because they really need help? In either case, this is what we call a teachable moment. So if you are not in the education community, you have no idea what a teachable moment is, you've never heard that term. A teachable moment is something that wasn't in the lesson plan, but it's happening right now. And we're going to turn the moment into a teachable moment for everyone in the classroom, including yourself. Teachable moments happen at the most inopportune times. And so just think about why that type of little boy would get sent to the office, because here it is, Miss Kellyanne is teaching her heart out and she's in the middle of the lesson, and, you know, she's just calling on, you know, little Ray and saying, you know, hey, do you know the answer to this question? And he busts out with, Jaden is broke. And so boom, just that easy. You know, it was very funny. The entire class will laugh, and just that quick, classroom management has to take over, and the teacher's probably thinking, oh my goodness, what do I do? So if ego and poor teaching ability, just not enough tools in the arsenal, sort of push themselves to the forefront, that teacher could get mad, you know, send the student out. But what the teacher really should do, and what we all should do when we have that teachable moment, is not in the lesson plan, but it's happening, is you have to learn how to pivot and you have to learn how to redirect. Off the top of my head, what I would do if I was faced in that situation, if we were in person, obviously this was not an in-person, in the classroom situation, but if I had that young man in my classroom and he said that, I would just have to quickly pivot and say, oh my gosh, Ryan, that was really funny. You're really funny. You know, class, maybe we should come up with some sort of like talent show, or like a big show where everybody can show their different skills, and you can come up with jokes, and you're really good at drawing, so you can do like your artwork. That's a good idea, right? But for now, and then I will walk over to the board, but for now I want us to focus on math. So let's refocus for a little bit. What are we learning today? All right, and then how are we going to do that? We're going to practice this. All right, let's get back on track. And just simply redirect and move back into your lesson and file it away. Two things. Do I need to follow up with this young man because he's using his humor because he doesn't understand? Or can I put some more pizzazz into my lesson? A worksheet, a skill sheet it's a lot for our kids over and over and over and over and over again. That's the only way you want me to practice something that is so tangible and hands-on as math. You know, this is why adults grow up saying stupid stuff like, I'm never going to use math ever again. Why do I need to know this? When literally everything has to do with math. And maybe our kids would understand that, and they grow up to adults who understood that, if we did a better job of giving students a different, more concrete way to practice math. All right, I gotta go, but that was so cute to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this special version of Ask Miss Cotton, and I'll see you next time. If you want to know, just ask.